Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We're here at LaughingPlace. I'm Rebecca Mosley, the site's co-founder, and over there is the site's CEO, Ben Breitbart, who is currently in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for D23's inaugural event there in Brazil, south of the border. It's so much fun. Are you having a good time? I'm so pumped, and you're like all chill and mellow. You having a good time?
No, I mean it's just sort of that after energy. You're like, yeah, I had a good time. It was. You don't know what to expect. Going, obviously, I don't speak a lick of Portuguese, and I
Okay.
have to say, the people of Sao Paulo have been phenomenal. When I look like when I don't know where I'm supposed to go for the Uber, like the signage in Sao Paulo, not great. I will say I have no idea where I'm supposed to go, and but it's been really great. It's been funny because a lot of the people you bump into at D23 Brazil are former international college program customers, um, and so like their English is great, and so you just not so much like around town, but they're like, oh yeah, I work Main Street merchandise. Like, okay, great, and so and then you forget you're in Brazil until suddenly you're trying to you start here. Yeah, I've got no idea.
I love it. So you have that instant Disney connection, even though you're thousands of miles from the nearest Disney
Well,
theme park.
and that's what was really cool about this. I mean, you get that when you visit the Disney parks to a point, but just like there's that energy when you go to D23 in the States, seeing something that I consider my culture, right? Disney. But seeing that being embraced and passionate and just cheered as loud as could be, you know, down here, especially if you consider the connection with South America just from its history.
Hmm.
It's really been kind of one of those it's a small world moments. It's like as long as we all are watching cartoons together, we'll be okay.
One of the examples of that for me was the moment that Josh and Kevin Feige made their entrance to the presentation.
I if you see those guys in the states, they will get like they'll be like, hey, but we see them. I don't want to say we see them all the time, but like seeing Josh at the park is not the craziest thing in the world. But here, it took it to rock star level of like everybody. It stopped the show. Like that was the show. The poor rock band that was playing as our warm up act. I felt bad for them because no one cared. Josh Tomorrow had entered the house, followed quickly behind with Kevin Feige, who tried to be incognito, but his incognito is just his regular look of wearing a baseball cap. So no, it was fun. It's and it's obviously, in being in the domestic base, we have a chance to chat with Josh every once in a while. We see him in the park or what have you, and it's just like I can't wait. Like, hey, you're a rock star here in Brazil. Like, you don't have to. You know how like when someone's a college football star and they don't like the thing is like never has to pay for lunch. Like Josh Romano never has to pay lunch in Brazil, at least around the convention.
So you're there. This is D23 Brazil. This is day one. Day one, the big event was this presentation. Let people know kind of what it was that was showcased. Give a little recap there at the top of the
Yes. So,
discussion.
so this was Studios Day One, which is Disney live action, Disney animation, Pixar animation, and 20th century animation. So, with the exception of 20th century animation, it's basically what Disney was when I was in college. So, not yet Marvel, Lucasfilm, or 20th Century Studios. That's tomorrow afternoon. But this is sort of, the heart of the Disney Studios today. Not that tomorrow won't be exciting. I love their Marvel here. Um, and so it was fun. It was a neat opportunity.
Well, okay, so among the movies that were kind of discussed today, we had Moana 2, we had Mufasa, Zootopia 2, but we have a question specifically about one of them, and so I'm gonna throw it to you. Michael James is asking, what did you think about the announcement of Ice Age 6? Now, I will tell you, Ben, the teaser announcement with Ray Romano was posted on YouTube, and I'm sure our team has covered it. We have an article on LaughingPlace. What was it like in the room? Because you couldn't share that aspect with us.
Yeah, well, so it was very brief. I don't know what you might actually have more. We didn't get to see anything with Ray Romano or anything, so you may actually have more on the internet than you did in the room. It was very brief, and it was all in Portuguese. I didn't even know that the name of the movie is Ice Age 6. That was not shared. It was something in Portuguese, which so I don't. I also didn't know that the voice cast was returning. I mean, this whole segment was in Portuguese, so. I think of it as being in existence. Great. People seem to love that franchise. What did I think of anything I learned from it? I learned nothing, because this was the one thing where there was no English anywhere. And I was trying to catch up on my tweets from whatever else with Tron Aries.
One of the aspects of this event is mentioning is it being in Brazil. Obviously, you have a Portuguese speaking, that's the primary language down there. So a lot of the entertainment side is presented in Portuguese, like here. However, the creatives themselves are native English speakers, and so I saw some footage on I want to say like Instagram, where it looked like when people like Kevin Jonas were speaking, they offered subtitling or something for the. I mean, I'm just asking, how is it handled?
I don't think you meant Kevin Jonas.
Who did Jonas? I know
Jonas Rivera.
Melding several people together.
There was a trash can. Yeah, so they would have like live Portuguese translation. Although I would say I think a lot of the people at least had a passing understanding of English, because they wouldn't wait. Like the reaction was pretty quick. And the little Portuguese I knew, you'd be like, okay, yeah, they got it before that was up there. Or enough people knew that, and then it just became a mob of applause. And but yeah. So
what name was it? Wait, what name was I trying to say that I melded with
Jonas?
Thank you.
You before you Wheel Fortune before and after that, Kevin Jonas Rivera.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And so it's particularly in animation. Animation's typically all dubbed. A lot of the live action stuff was in English with subtitles, but the animation, obviously, it is. They dub that and give that a little bit more of a priority. So I could understand Jonas obviously and Jared Bush and when they would talk, but when they would actually show footage or sing a song, I mean, some of the stuff I've seen in English, but it was all in Portuguese, as it should be. We're in Brazil.
You were there for the trailer of Mufasa. What would you say the reception in the room? How would you characterize it?
Yeah, it was very warm. It was the first one, so they did a live performance of Circle of Life, which I think kind of got that going, and then we got a little bit of some of the new songs. The big, I should say, news to me, I don't know if it's news to the world, I don't see every bit of info that comes out, is that Le Bohème is returning for the sequel or the prequel. So Lin-Manuel Miranda's name got a huge applause. This is the first I'm seeing this poster, which is pretty cool.
I will say I am not somebody who's deeply familiar with Lion King lore, so it being the story of an orphan who would be king, I did not realize that Mufasa was orphan. So
yeah, well, I think that's new for this.
Okay,
that's not that. If you're watching The Lion Guard, I don't know if that exactly lines up with canon on that show, but
okay.
So, which is okay. Tell the story you want to tell. I'm not.
Yep.
I think we start getting into canon wars about Lion King. But
I'm glad I asked. There's also you guys had a sneak peek at I maybe first look, better way to put it, at the Adorable Stitch.
Yeah, so this was very similar to except I think the image they put out similar to what they did at D23, where he kind of crashed the Honda Center. This time he crashed the Trans-American Expo Center, which was basically shot for shot, but a different expo center. It was kind of funny. And there's like 12 people in the world who, are in the audience of both probably. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was very cute. Did the whole same thing, with the D23 that would turn into a 626, kind of as a hacking moment. So that was fun. Very similar if you saw it in Anaheim, but yeah.
And then we also got news out of Zootopia 2.
Yeah, news. We heard a little bit about this movie in Anaheim, but Shakira is returning as Gazelle, and is going to have a new song. And they kept mentioning the Tiger Dancers, so that seems to be very important, that the Tiger Dancers will be featured in Gazelle's new song.
Okay.
So, I'm excited. In fact, so Shakira is going on a tour, and part of me was like, I'll go if she does try everything. Like, I might be the only English speaker there, but I really wanted to. I mean, I know this has nothing to do with D23. Really excited. I'm going to this Descendants Zombies tour.
I figured you were. I skipped over. There was also a moment where they shared a little bit more about Snow White. Was this new to you?
It was new to me. The new song, Pasek and Paul for a Wish, was new to me. This has been very popular here at D23 Brazil. We've seen a lot of cosplay as Snow White, both men and women cosplaying as Snow White. So it's just kind of crossing all lines there. The photo op for D23 for Snow White has a line, whereas the one that's literally right next to it for Tron Ares has no weight. So I thought that was an interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah. Let me see if I'm going to scroll through and see if I can find those tweets that you had earlier, Ben, and while I have you here, while I'm looking for those tweets, one of the things that we shared on our socials was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Haircut experience. Can you explain to me, is there a unique haircut aspect to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or is that just kind of like...
Actually, give me 1 sec. Let me go.
Okay, no worries. While Ben heads over there for something, I'm going to remind you to be sure to follow us on socials, because throughout this morning, we've had images and info coming to you from the D23 Brazil as it's been happening. And our Benji and Alex are down there bringing us information and fun of the first time for D23 down there in Brazil for this event.
So, new licensee, in Brazil, called Corleone, Barbershop by Corleone, and they have a Marvel license. And so Alex actually, they got if you bought stuff, you get a free haircut. So they had a special comic book, a variant cover, and then so he got like hair gel or hair putty or whatever. I'm not a hair expert. And this is face wash and beard. I don't know why, but beard gel, beard oil.
Cool.
So so we got a haircut. They were very nice, and the exchange rate is very helpful here. So
by the way, here's some of the tweets that we've had so far. That photo op that Ben was talking about earlier. We also saw one for the Captain America film.
And what's interesting here is like there's a lot more. They don't necessarily have as much props and things, but they make these fun little activations. So, like for example, Moana is a rocking boat, and they basically play past the hey. There's an obstacle course for Captain America. There's a laser sort of obstacle course for Star Wars. I don't know if it's generically Star Wars. I don't remember, but so it's a lot more of those kinds of things than just sort of standee.
I wanted to share with all of you some of the merch. Our team is currently going through the folder of items that Ben and Alex have sent over, and so you're going to continue to see articles posted on LaughingPlace throughout the day. So I invite you to be sure to follow us on our socials, visit the site regularly. There's a tag specifically for D23 Brazil that you can follow. I'll put a link to the side here shortly. But some of the stuff that caught my eye in your folder, Ben, this collection of Pixar balls that are themed to various franchises in Pixar. I thought this was cute. I hadn't seen this done before. I like it. I'm a fan.
It was very, it's very popular, so it's hard to see everything.
Yeah, you've got Wally.
Roman's job of getting everything. So,
and then the T-shirt in the upper left here, that is the Brazilian Portuguese equivalent of "You're watching Disney Channel." I want it here now. Yesterday, I would love to wear that everywhere and all the time. And then I also just enjoyed seeing what franchises are kind of represented at the event. Hercules, Emperor's New Groove down in the bottom right corner, a little bit of Chicken Little there. Stitch, that classic poster of him as the kind of troublemaker in the family. So like I say, we'll we're crafting content all the time here from the our news desk is hard at work on all of that. Benji, let's see. What other announcements came out of this morning that you want to make sure we discussed?
So we got a little bit of sneak peek of Tron Ares, which was similar to what we saw, if not exactly the same, that we saw at D23, but that was D23 Anaheim. So no real announcement there. Although Jared Leto, he did like a little custom video where he just sort of went on and on about what he loves about Brazil. There's the standee for Tron Ares. So then they went from that just Ice Age. They showed for Snow White, the new song is kind of catchy. I don't know how it's going to fit with the rest of the song.
Waiting on a Wish.
Yeah, Waiting on a Wish. I don't, it's a little bit more modern than like Someday My Prince Will Come, but it'll be interesting. And then we got let's see. So then they went to Pixar, and we went. Jonas kind of talked about how much he loves Saludos Amigos. He showed a piece of Mary Blair art of Brazil that he actually owns. That he does for some concept art. Went to Elio. Light touch on Elio. I know it's coming out soon, but he didn't really get into a whole lot of detail beyond what we had seen in Anaheim. And I know obviously the movie has gone through several changes and delays, so curious to see how this one plays out, but not really anything groundbreaking here yet. Then once again, talk about Toy Story 4 and Incredibles 2 in a way that was similar to Anaheim.
Before you jump over there, was this film.
Yeah, so that was going to get to the real winner of this was Hoppers. Obviously, that's Saltadores, and if you're watching it here, and give us a little bit more detail about the plot, at least more than I knew. Whereas the little girl it's a robot beaver that she hops into. It's not a real beaver, so you don't have to worry about like the poor beaver being displaced. And she's going on an undercover mission, and she meets with the king beaver, who is in a battle with the mayor. I think it's Mayor Jerry, about developing a tract of land where that's the home of the Beaver King. So sounds like a whole lot of like intrigue. Kind of may seem like it's an action comedy adventure with obviously that sort of Pixar emotion bit.
Now, were you presented with any footage here, or was it
same footage? It was really in the dialogue and Alex got video of that, so we'll be uploading it so you can hear Jonas talk a little bit more about what the movie actually is.
Okay.
But yeah, still a rabid beaver running around, crazy, excited. It kind of talks about for someone who likes animals more than people, which I get. Um, this movie is for them.
Okay. Your next tweet was Toy Story 5.
Yeah, so Toy Story 5 still nothing really new there. Toys versus video games or screens, I should say. So they had I don't know if who is it what's her name? What's the name of the girl in Toy Story?
Jessie?
No, the human girl.
Oh, it's out of my head too.
Oh, not Andy, but Andy.
Yes, I
Andy.
know exactly. Yes, yeah.
Don't get old.
Hey, chat, I know you're yelling at those of you watching. I know you're yelling because I can see that you guys are out there. I know you're yelling at us.
I'm yelling at me. How do I not know this? Bonnie. Her name is Bonnie.
Okay.
I don't know if it's her under like the sheets, like obviously that sort of blue glow of a screen, and the toys looking sort of longingly. It's kind of like, when you're trying to read about you, like, why aren't you petting me? Kind of vibe.
Okay.
So, and then real brief mention of Incredibles 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, Incredibles 3. No new. I mean, we got more info in Anaheim. They didn't even mention Brad Bird's returning. So, but we did get to see the first episode of Dream Productions.
Oh, okay. That would be the continuing tale of Inside Out.
No, it is takes place between Inside Out 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
So it's a in between quel. It's a Lion King 1.5 of the Inside Out universe. Fair for me to judge it based on it being in Portuguese, but I thought it looked a lot of fun. It's like I just can't wait to see it in English.
What was the reaction in the room?
It was good. It was good reaction. People seem excited, and so we got another month before I can see it in English. But
by the way, we talked a little bit about Zootopia earlier, and I forgot to make sure to share with all of you the new characters. There's a Gary the snake was one of them, and there was a new beaver friend.
Nibbles the beaver. Yeah, okay. So it's funny, they showed this in Anaheim, but if you saw it in Anaheim, there's a lot of like jokes about the beaver talking to the walrus and like sort of like a dialect, but like but so it's funny to see the interpretation of that in a completely other language.
Oh wow.
So because it's like, oh, so that's what hikma sound like in Portuguese. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so Zootopia 2, obviously Jared Bush, this is the first time I've seen him as outside of the airplane, chief creative officer of Disney Animation, and he's sort of Disney starred on Zootopia. I should say his Disney Animation. For those of you real fans, you remember Pen Zero, Part-Time Hero on Disney XD. But yeah, so it's so kind of talked about going full circle on that. It was kind of neat to hear. We heard it from obviously Jennifer Lee, who's still at Disney, but we heard it from her perspective. But now we got to hear it a little bit more from someone who's actually knee deep in production on that. And then what's the other?
Moana 2 is the only other thing I can think of that we haven't.
Okay,
Did I overlook something?
I don't know, maybe not, but I feel okay. Yeah, no, you didn't. Moana 2 was the grand finale. It showed the first song "We're Back" in Portuguese. They showed it at D23 already, but then a Brazilian superstar who voices Moana in the Brazilian dub performed it live. Performed the new song "Beyond," which was just released a few days ago. Performed the end credit version live here, and obviously, I mean, I admit I'm not a huge expert in Brazilian superstars, but huge reaction. Not quite Josh Tomorrow level, but huge reaction from the assembled here.
Oh, Happy Cloud Gamer wants to see more new series with the classic. I agree. That'd be awesome. See more of that. And was there a date announced in relationship with Ice Age 6? If there was, I'm sure it's in the article that our team has posted on the site. So be sure to check out LaughingPlace Ice Age article for more on that, Fred.
Yeah, it sounds like they did not give a release date, just that it's in production and that more, the returning cast, and that more details and cast will be revealed at a future date.
And I saw people asking about Incredibles. My understanding was it was announced that the script was written or was being written. A script was being written.
I mean, we can go back to the tape, but my just sort of trick that it's in work, it's in development.
Okay. Okay.
So
even more generic than the takeaway I'd been seeing. Okay.
Yeah, it's very just, it exists. They acknowledge it exists. They had nothing to say about it.
What do we anticipate for Studios presentation day 2?
That's a great question. So that's Marvel, Star Wars, and 20th Century Studios.
Okay.
We never know what they're going to talk about. Everything they talked about today we knew existed. There was no announcements in terms of a new project. That could change tomorrow. Things they could have had something that they want to talk about, but I expect Skeleton Crew. I expect Daredevil Born Again. I'd expect Captain America and Brave New World and Thunderbolts. Maybe even a little bit about some other Marvel shows coming to Disney Plus. And I don't know what's on the studio slate from 23 Studios. There was much talk about them at Disney D23, so there could be some surprises there as well. So,
what's your button?
What's my button? Good question. I believe it says the most magical place on earth in Portuguese.
That'd be my guess too.
Based
on what few words I can pick out, that'd be my guess. You don't happen to have the expo bag, do you? That has it has Mickey on one side and then karaoke. Yeah. So this is the bag, and he's called by his more familiar. Is it Z or Zet karaoke? Do you know? Have you heard it?
I've not heard it.
Okay, well, I'm giving you homework. I'm giving you homework. While you're down there, find out for me. Is he Zet karaoke or Z? See, I'm gonna believe that this is Zet.
I believe you. I just find out. Hopefully, we'll get an answer tomorrow.
Okay. I appreciate the info. So once again, I put in the chat the tag on LaughingPlace that you can be sure to revisit throughout the day to stay on top of our information as we're able to publish it. We also, our X account, our socials, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, we have posts going up there as well regarding the events and experience that Ben and Alex are having at D23 Brazil. Anything else you want to make sure that we mention? I know that we had been waiting on hopefully maybe some information kind of popping up, but I haven't seen anything yet.
I don't. This has nothing to do with D23 Brazil, but I guess they're doing a Moana World of Color pre-show.
Yeah, we have. Yes, they're going to have something. It's called the Boat Snack. So a limited time playing at the Disneyland Resort. So that's about to happen. We're excited for. I wonder why X didn't. I'll have to learn what I did wrong on X. I don't have us broadcasting over there. It doesn't look like.
Oh, that's okay.
Let's see what else. Just checking. Oh, you can look at the other news, Ben. See if there's anyone.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
But yeah, it looks like it's been a busy day. And I think we getting ready for the treasure and holidays at the parks. I guess tonight's the first very Merry Christmas party, and then tomorrow we've got Jollywood nights. So it's just been hard to keep up.
Did you see the Christmas tree celebration over here that they have?
Oh, that's fun. It's new to me.
Yeah, that's over at Disney Springs, celebrating the Disney treasure.
Of course it is.
Yay! It's coming into port soon, so that's exciting. So you'll be seeing that all over socials too. I think, Ben, I'm going to let you go and get back to the D23 fun. Like I say, follow us here at LaughingPlace. Hit the subscribe button so you get notified when we're live reacting to stuff like just happened now with the Day One Studios presentation. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all soon.
Bye. Bye.